Good morning, afternoon, or whatever time it is. I'm Waddles. I hope you're doing well. So, the other day I finally unlocked the community tab. I was so excited about that, and as soon as I saw that I unlocked it, I ran a poll. The poll was about what kind of content you guys would like to see. The video that won that poll released the day after the poll, and so today we're going to do what the runner-up was, which was more 1.14 content. Today, I'll be taking a look at scaffolding, talking all about it, telling you what you can do, what you can't do with it, and then even showing off some building ideas for this block. Now, do keep in mind that I'm recording this in a beta, which means that this is all an experimental feature. Stuff is probably going to change. If you're watching this months later, some of this stuff, or possibly even all of it, could be inaccurate. If you enjoy the video, do me a favor, drop a like and subscribe, and tell me down below, what else do you want to see? So, let's start off with the crafting recipe, right? We gotta make the thing to be able to use it and talk about it, of course. So, right here is the recipe. 6 bamboo, 1 string. Pretty simple. Now, when you throw this recipe in your crafting bench, you will see that you get 6 scaffolding in return. So, it's kind of like 1 scaffolding per each bamboo block, or bamboo pole block? I don't know. Here is scaffolding. Scaffolding kind of reminds me of like those webbed tables. Does anybody know what I'm talking about? It also reminds me of a miniature trampoline. Now, you can walk right through scaffolding, so it's there, but it's also kind of not there. You can place scaffolding on top of other scaffolding, meaning if you look at the top of one scaffolding and place another, it will go right on top. So you can keep using that mechanic to build up a tall scaffolding tower. You can, again, of course, walk through this even when it's stacked up. Now, you can go up the stuff by holding space, and you can go down the stuff by holding shift. So it's pretty easy to use, and it makes actually a really fast elevator. Not as fast as a bubble column, but a decently fast elevator. You can place scaffolding coming off of other scaffolding up to 4 blocks. So right here I have 4 blocks out off of this main branch, and if I place a 5th one coming off of that branch, it will just fall. So scaffolding is kind of gravity affected in some ways. Kind of interesting. Now, if you break the bottom scaffolding block, all of the ones above it will fall. That's kind of like chorus plant. However, with the scaffolding, you will get all of your scaffolding that you placed back. So we have this branch that scaffolding keeps falling off of. However, as soon as we connect to the ground, we can continue to build off of this branch again. You can also make turns when you're placing these blocks too, so long as they are within 4 blocks of your initial ground connection is what we'll call it, I suppose. With the whole floating scaffolding thing in mind, however, you cannot place scaffolding along the side of non-scaffolding blocks and expect it to stay. If I place it right along this little pillar that I built here, the scaffolding is just falling, as you can see. So, the majority of this video was shot in the previous beta version, but right after I finished this video, the next beta came out. As of that beta, scaffolding now burns. So as you can see behind me, the scaffolding that I have placed around this lava is burning. That's no good, but it makes sense. So you cannot use scaffolding near lava. Also, in that beta, the sounds were changed. So that's it. Everything else still applies in this video, but the sounds are that. They're that. Now, I've seen some misconceptions and some confusion about shifting on scaffolding, but you can indeed shift on this stuff to place blocks. However, you cannot shift on the scaffolding with more scaffolding below it because you'll start to go down. So, if you're trying to do any kind of like work where you need to be careful about placing things or work in a dangerous area, make sure you don't have scaffolding below it. So, right here, I'm shifting to place my stairs. Not that I would really necessarily need to, but there we go. It worked fine. Now, of course, as you saw there, at the end, I got near the scaffolding that is, towered up. So, I started to sink down. You need to be really careful about that, because if you're even near this stuff, it seems that the game just thinks you're on the scaffolding trying to go down, and it sends you downwards. So, I think that's pretty much everything I have to say about scaffolding. Let's move on over to some building ideas for scaffolding. I've seen tons of screenshots of this stuff. I'm not claiming that I'm the original person who set up this stuff or anything like that, but scaffolding, of course, makes an amazing table. Right here I have more of a dinner table, and then right here I have a small, maybe like a restaurant table or something like that. The stuff just looks really good. It especially looks good when you pair it with birchwood, oakwood, or even sandstone because of the colors in this thing. Over here, I have this as a little office desk. This is kind of like my room, honestly. I have a desk in front of a window, but my window looks out to a tree, so I can't see anything. But I'm not complaining. So this stuff does make a nice desk. Now, you can make giant chairs with this stuff too. And when I say giant, the chair is as tall as me, or almost as tall as me. I guess I'm a little taller than the chair, so yep, a pretty big chair. Can't actually sit in it, but we can stand on it or stand through it. But yeah, this stuff does make chairs. If you're trying to make some kind of house or something like that, this would be a nice decoration to have kind of sitting along your wall or something like that. It's just a trapdoor on top of some scaffolding. And then elevators. You can also use scaffolding as elevators. I have an up elevator and then a down elevator over here. This could kind of replace bubble columns already, which is kind of funny. However, the whole aesthetics of things is completely up to you. Do you prefer the water thing, or do you prefer just having the scaffolding here? You, of course, also don't really need two elevators. Obviously, you could consolidate everything down into one elevator. So that is where you kind of luck out with space in concern to elevators. If you do a scaffolding elevator, you really only need one column, but if you're doing bubble columns, you'll probably need two, because you'll need like a magma block one or just somewhere to fall down, right? So that's something to just keep in mind. I think that's just about it for the video. I hope some of your confusion in regards to scaffolding has been cleared up. Some of your questions have been answered, I hope. If you have more questions related to this stuff, throw them down in the comments and I'll try to get back to you, or I'm sure somebody else will see it and respond to you as well. Now, keep in mind, again, I did this in a beta, so I'm sure this stuff will change a lot. I could see scaffolding being one of those features that sees a lot of changes throughout the development of the update leading up to the official release. It's not in Java Edition yet, but it should be soon. A few of the Mojang developers were teasing on Twitter about an upcoming snapshot, so keep your eyes out for that. I'll, of course, be covering that whenever it's out. But I hope you've enjoyed this video. My name is Waddles. Thanks for watching. If you liked it, leave a like. Consider subscribing if you haven't yet. And check out my 1.14 playlist. It's linked on the end slide as well as down below. Go have a good day. I will see you next time. Goodbye, everybody.